Hello everyone, my name is Jahan Abdul Wahab and today we will be presenting our third project, Cape Town Water Crisis for the course Water Resources Management. I want to start my presentation by talking about the reason we chose this project. There's two reasons actually we chose this project. The first one is we believe this project allowed us to utilize most of the knowledge that we have learned throughout this course, including the calculations of urban and agricultural water demand and water use per capita. The second reason is we believe that by studying and analyzing the crisis that happened in South Africa, we will be helping other developing countries from falling in the same crisis because it's similar in conditions to many other developing countries in Africa. By promoting practices of water resources management, we will be helping other developing countries avoid it. The methodology that we used for this project is composed of 4 different stages. The first stage is to gather as much information as possible and evaluate the available water supply resources. By doing this, we were able to project the future data. And in the second stage, we did a risk assessment by the use of data that we have obtained in the previous stage. And we were also able to assess the vulnerable water supply system that Cape Town has. One of the main reasons that the water crisis happened in Cape Town is because they depend on one water supply system, which is the surface water, and they don't even have a reliable weather forecast, so they were not able to foresee the lack of the rainfall that will happen in the further years, so they didn't store enough water for that. In the third stage, we identified alternatives. So instead of depending on one source, we want them to have variable sources. For example, we gave an example of groundwater use. In the fourth stage, we future planned. We wanted to conserve the available sources and invest in the future by promoting the methodologies that we have learned throughout this course to conserve more water. The study area, so we start our analysis by the study area. Cape Town is the capital of South Africa. As you can see, it is located in the red zone in the map. This area have many environmental challenges, including rapid urbanization, increasing scarcity of resources, and water pollution, similar to many other countries in Africa. And its water supply, as I said, depends on the surface water, so it is mostly dependent on dams. There's 6 major dams in Cape Town that supply more than 99%, and the other dams supply less, the other 8 dams that they're minor. And the biggest of these dams is the Waterskloof in South Africa. It supplies more than 41% specifically of the water in the state to the city. So my friend will be continuing with the population calculations.
Hello, my name is Deniz Yıldız and I'm a senior grade student at Katip Çelebi University. And today our major topic is Cape Town water crisis, and I'm continuing with data collection and risk assessment. I am dealing with population growth, urban and agricultural water demand, dam storage, and water use per capita. Now we are seeing our population growth. We have 5 years of population data between 2015 to 2019. Since it is difficult to access such kind of data in developing countries, we were able to do 5-year calculation. And we have a linear graph. We can see from the graph that the population is growing rapidly, which is observed in generally developing countries. This is reason what water crisis is experienced in developing countries. Now we are seeing our Cape Town water use per capita. Some decisions have been made by the government. In 2017, water use per capita per day determined as 100 liters. In 2018, in January, it is determined as 87 liters, and in February the same year it is determined as 15 liters. But we can see in the graph in 2017 it is 30 gallons, which is approximately equal to 114 liters, and in 2018 it is approximately equal to 124 liters. So we can say that they are over the limits. And now we are seeing our observation, urban and agricultural water demand. We can see from the graph, agricultural water demand is high because crops consumes a lot of water. During summer, demand is decreases, and during winter, demand is increases. And it is because the rain begins in the months of winter. Water crisis began in 2017 and reached the maximum amount in 2018. It is decreasing from 2,000 million liters to 1,500 liters. So we can say that, and we can see, of course, it's a very high decreasing. Now we see our projection urban and agricultural demands. It looks like there will be no crisis in 2 years. So we can say that the water demand is stable. Now we see our observation dam storage. In Cape Town, 90% of water came from dams. Calculations was made for the 6th largest dam. And the amount of rain is small in summer, and the amount of water in dams decreases. And in winter, it is opposite. After 2014, the amount of water begins to decrease, and dam deposits falls to 13% in 2017. But it is not healthy to use below the limit of 15% in dams, because below the limit it contains sediments. Now we see our projection dam storage. In 2020, the amount of water in the dams are rising, and in 2021, it will accommodate more water.
Hello, my dear teacher, my dear friends and colleagues. My name is Erkan Güney. In this narrative, I will talk about the effect of the drought problems, which has increased intensely with global warming. In this study, we prepared with my friends. We worked on the drought problems in Cape Town. These problems are generally encountered in water crises at various parts of the world. Let me explain what is the drought and water crisis. The water crisis is a situation that available potable and non-contaminated water is less than the demand. And a water drought is an event of prolonged shortness in the water supply. So, let's see the water risk atlas. When we determine the water atlas on the orange colored areas, we see there are water crises in the most of the regions that people live in the world. On the other hand, in the red areas on our map, water crises have reached drought level, and our study area is the one of the red-colored region on the South Africa. So, what were the impact of the water crisis on Cape Town? Let's see agricultural effects. The main commodities produced within the Cape Towns are based on agriculture, fruits, vegetables, grapevines, and crops. There are typically requires irrigation during summer. In addition, livestock and dairies are agricultural products produced in the area. In other words, the yields of the crops ground in Cape Town began to die. Let's see the economical impacts. The water crisis will cost some 300,000 jobs in agriculture and tens of thousands more in service, hospitality, and food sectors. Some other effects are increasing pricing of agricultural products, rising water prices, dead farm animals, decreasing number of tourists. So let's see the water risk. There was concern that fire risk would increase as the environment and infrastructure became increasingly dry. Fire spray and fire suppression systems might also have failed due to reduced water pressure in higher lying areas. So let's talk about public health risks. Commonly observed health impacts of drought include malnutrition and airborne or dust-related diseases, water-related diseases, and mental health aspects. Particularly at risk to draw are children, old, indigent, chronically ill people, and the pregnant. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.
Hello everyone, my name is Ebru. I would like to talk about solution of water crisis in Cape Town. My presentation is in two parts. I will show you measures made by Cape Town, and finally we will look at what more can be done. Firstly, I would like to start with Cape Town's policy for Zero Day. The city's Safety and Security Department published its critical water storage disaster plan in Cape Town. The plan serves to guide and coordinate the different departments required for disaster preparation and outlines 3 phases in the city's drought response. Phase 1 is about protection of limitation. This phase was initiated for Cape Town to reduce its water use by 40%. To reduce the amount of water present in the system, it was emphasized that managing water pressure and reducing water need will continue. So, Phase 2 is disaster restriction. The worst day zero term may occur when the Western Cape water supply system threshold levels fall to 13%. Within Phase 2, the city avoids most private water consumption, and the water is collected in the municipality's collection area. Finally, Phase 3 is about the disaster of implementation, when all accessible surface water has been exhausted and catchment sites only provide groundwater for drinking purpose. It will come into the effect. As you can see, this policy doesn't talk about managing demand, but water management is not just about supplying water. Also, it is about changing minds. Now, I would like to share our suggestions for Cape Town and the world. One of the most important water losses occurs in agriculture. Considering the increasing population and the increase in the water demand, it's necessary to use water effectively in agriculture. So we needed to focus on policies that include the use of wastewater in irrigation, diverging surface water to areas where water is scarce, and irrigation methods need to be converted to drip methods and must be made mandatory. Another important part is the domestic use of water. City water needs to be reduced to minimum level of network losses and leakage. The necessity of having a grey water system in new houses. In addition, the water clocks in the houses are converted into smart watches and give a warning after a certain level and stop the daily water consumption if it is existed at that level. Our final suggestions are in the area of social awareness, water saving and efficient usage of water lessons should be given in schools starting from primary school. Mandatory courses about water should be opened for parents and necessary information should be provided. Since we are in social era, the water problem should be shown more in TV and social media advertisements. That's all for now on. Thank you for listening.